Yes, yes, yes. You know what day it is? It's Wednesday. And you know what time it is? It's 9 p.m. UK time. And it's 4 p.m. over there on the east and 1 on the west. So that means one thing and one thing only. We are live, and it is Ask Rick. Oh, we ask Rick Razor. We have him live up here, all the way from the East Coast. And here is the man himself, Rick Glazer. How do you do?
Good, buddy. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. You know, it's the COVID era. It's lingering on. We thought the thing had damn well was coming to a close, but it seems like it's lingering on. New restrictions. Knew this, knew that. It ain't over. It's far from over.
Well, one thing never changes. Wednesdays, 9 p.m. UK time. Ask Rick.
100%. 100%. And we're here again, keeping to the schedule. And yeah, without much further ado, let's get into this thing. Okay, Rick. So your president ran into some problems, some health problems over the weekend, last few days.
Didn't your prime minister have it too, Johnson?
yeah, Johnson had it too. These
it mostly affects people with real big egos.
Well, have you had it, Rick?
No, but I got a big libido. Let's not confuse things here.
OMG. Okay. And what else is there coming from stateside? Okay. What's his name? Your David Chauvin, whatever his name's, just been released on 1 million bail. You know, the guy who took the knee on the fella's neck, just been released on $1.25 million bail, not cash.
Well, I mean, it's just a sad situation. I mean, I'm sure that when the guy left his home that day to go to work, he never thought that would happen. Shit happens, and it's a shame. Yeah, I hate to think he did it because the guy was black, but it sure seems that way. You know, I mean, there's always truth. There's always truth in quantity, and there's just too many of these incidents happening, and it's sad. It's sad where we're at in society today. Yeah. So it's not a good look. That's for sure.
Certainly is not a good look. I was surprised when I just checked Twitter because, you know, the Rafi's been busy over here in the UK. I haven't been on Twitter in a couple of days. And then, you know, I saw the news that David Chauvin has been released on $1.25 million bail, not cash. So I was very surprised to see that. It ain't a good look, like Rick says. It ain't a good look at all. But, you know, we'll have to see how that develops. I think he's due back in March. So we'll have to see how that develops over there in the US of A. Okay, so as we move on into the boxing talk, yeah, I think we're about to get into it. So let's have a look who we've got in the building at the moment. Get your questions in, folks. Excuse-moi. Okay, so who we got? We got Andre up in the building. What's going on, fellas? Hope all is well. Big congrats on the alliance with Frank Warren, Rick Glazer.
Thank you. I'm enjoying my Frank Warren Queensberry experiences so far. I didn't need to say experiences. I got experience. It's everything's very good. Nice people to work with, pleasant, and that's what it's all about. And I think it's going to be rewarding for both Frank and myself, and more importantly, all the boxing fans in the UK and all over the world, because Frank plans on doing bigger things, more international fighters, more international flavor. And he's brought me into head that part of it up. Basically head of international affairs, international representative. So it's going to work out very well. I like Frank. He's very personable, and he made it feel like a merger instead of me working for him. I'm working with him, which is true because that's how I looked at Don King. Because I still have my own business, but it's going to be work out well. I'm very confident of that. And I think I'm going to do some good things with Frank, and hopefully things become good things, become great things, and hopefully the quality of fights and the quality of the overall matches will pick up steam in the UK.
Excellente. And as we're speaking now, I'm diligently sharing this shizzle, sharing the show as we speak. Okay, let's drop that down and get back into the chat. Okay, get your questions in, folks. It's Ask Rick. Mighty Mo says yes. Ray says, give me that dream fight card. 4 matches. Well, 4 matches, that's a lot. I can give you, I guess I can go a couple. Well, Rick can give you one, I'll give you one, and then Rick can go again and I can go again. Okay, Rick, you lead the way. Dream fight card, 4 matches, 2 apiece. You go first.
Let's talk about that they be financially, fiscally responsible to put on the same show. So an opener would be, you know what I'm saying, the top, the co-main, and then the other 2 bouts. You can't just do your 4 dream fights because you can't put them on the same show, right?
True.
A fight card. So you have to have something that's, fiscally responsible.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would start with Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Even a dummy like me can figure that one out.
That's a no-brainer. So it's over to me. So under the main card, who are we gonna see? Gervonta Davis versus Lomachenko.
See, that's not fiscally responsible.
It's not. It's irresponsible.
No, it's not fiscally responsible. In other words, it would never be a co-feature. It's a standalone fight, a main event. I mean,
okay. Stop there. You're right. Stop there. Okay, let me be fiscally responsible. Daniel. Oh, damn. Rick's upset. He's just left us. Oh, he's immediately. Yeah, you're back. Okay, let me be fiscally responsible. On that undercard, I will go with Povetkin versus Luis Ortiz.
I will counter with Josh Warrington and Shakur Stevenson. That would be my co-feature.
Okay, let's say so. We're looking at the first card on the main event now. Okay, you got the Rafi sweating. Oh, I know, I've got it. Don't worry, it's easy. Daniel Dubois versus Joe Joyce. We're being fiscally responsible here, so we've gone away from the dream and we've come into reality.
Yeah, that's actually a second fight. That'd be a great second fight. The fight that I mentioned would be a great third fight, no question.
Yeah.
Okay, and a fourth fight that would make real sense.
Yeah.
I would say like a guy like Willie Hutchinson and from Scotland, who's 12-0, 8 KOs, big amateur, versus a big amateur from America, Anthony Sims. So it's got some UK versus American flavor for opener.
Yes. So what's happening there? Okay, so that's the one. Where are we? So there you have it. There you have the card. It's not so much of a dream card. It's just got a dream headliner, and it is a fiscally responsible card. And I tell you what, if you remind me next week, we'll do it again with different headliner. second fight, third fight, and fourth fight. Okay, so there you go. Let's stay into the chat. Rick, do you have any idea who Joseph Adorno is fighting since Sparrow pulled out?
Yeah, he's fighting Jose Luis Burgos, who fought Haney, he fought everybody. He's a real grizzled veteran, got a good record. I don't know, 30 something and maybe 5, something like that. He's a good fighter. It's actually probably an upgrade, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I mean, the styles are different, where Burgos is more of a walk to you guy, and Sparrow is a guy who moves around a lot. The styles are completely different. But Burgos is a better, much more accomplished fighter than Sparrow will ever be. Sparrow's done. Nobody's going to use him anymore. That game's over. That's the third time he's had problems in the last year. One was a dehydration, one was an arrest, and now this. He was overweight. He's done. Nobody that's got any brains, will use him again. He's done.
OMG. OMG. Okay. And we have the DJ Georgie Porgy up in the building and the Philip Carl Roberts. Okay. And the question from DJ Georgie Porgy is Bob Arum. I didn't see that. I didn't see that before I started reading. You got me there, Georgie Porgy. You very, very naughty lad. Very, very naughty lad. Okay. Who do you have in the Daniel Dubois versus? Well, let's talk about Daniel Dubois versus Joe Joyce, because we've had some good news from Queensbury Promotions that's going to occur not on PPV. That's going to be just part of people's normal BT subscription. So, yeah, not PPV.
I think it's great for UK boxing fans. It'll probably be on the ESPN Plus app over here in America. I think it's a great fight. I can't say it's two young fighters because Joe Joyce is 33, but two early pros, and they would both get, Joyce was an excellent amateur, and I think it's going to be a great fight. It's a shame the fans won't be there to see it in person. But it's something Frank wants to do. Both fighters want to do enough to do, and it's been going on for 8-9 months of cancellations due to COVID, and it's strictly to do with COVID. There's nothing to do with the fighters, injuries. There's nothing to do with finances. It's strictly about the COVID. So they're fighting in front of no fans, and it's tremendous for UK boxing fans and boxing fans in the United States, because it's a fight between two guys that you wouldn't think would fight each other at this early of a stage. So somebody's going forward and somebody's going backwards.
Yes. Okay. So forgot to tell you, Rick, I'm on a bit of a time crunch tonight. Got things to do after the show. So just to let everybody know that we get your questions in, because we're in for a good one, not necessarily a long one. Okay, and where am I? I'm not on the screen. There I am. Okay, so let's get into another one from the chat. Yeah, you got me, Georgie. You got me. What's this? T. White says Arum equals the biggest crook in boxing.
I don't agree at all. I've done business for Top Rank since 1993. Shortly after I started, they're precision payers like a Swiss watch. You get every dime coming. They FedEx it to you overnight. They do everything they're supposed to do in a business-like manner. I've had fighters with Top Rank, including big names like Frankie Randall, and they do everything they're supposed to do. I mean, there's nothing that goes unturned with these people. They're a first-class organization. They're the only company in boxing that runs their business like corporate America, where they have a CEO, a president, a chairman, a CEO, a COO, this, or that, the vice president. They're in business. The vice president of finance, they're in business. They have an in-house lawyer. It's truly a true business. And I can't say enough good things about Bob. I just can't. It'd be, I mean, he gets a bad rep. I mean, Don King gets a bad rep, and I speak raves about both of them. Both of them, I'm endeared to. Both of them have helped my careers tremendously. One guy helped my pocketbook, and one guy helped my reputation. Don helped my reputation and my and finances, and the other guy helped me through doing business with me. So through finances. So Don King went all over the world bragging about me. So I owe a lot to him. I met a lot of people through Don, and I'm still doing business with them today, thanks to Don. I can't complain. Whether people have a different image of it. All I know is that I respect the boxing enthusiasts. I completely get it. I get premium TV. I understand that. I understand prescription TV. I understand free TV. I understand cable TV. I understand pay-per-view, and I understand fans put up a lot of money to see boxing. But I will tell you, I've done business with both of them. Other people haven't. So when you come on the show and you say, "Oh, Bobby Earn's a crook" and stuff, I've done business with both of them, and I've been treated tremendously by both of them. You'll never hear me say a bad word about those guys when it comes to money. I might disagree with them on certain things they do in the business. Okay, but they're not crooks. Not at all. Neither, man. I don't care what people say about Don. Don, when you handle 3,500 fighters in your career, and 5 of them said they were robbed, well, how come the other almost 3,500 didn't say that? Does that make sense? I mean, come on, it's isolated. As I explained to you prior on the show here, when Mike Tyson was robbed, the quote, of $14 million. Okay, they handled $1 billion. What's the percentage of 14 million into $1 billion? It's 0.0014. I mean, come on, give me a break. It gets lost in the shuffle. Let me ask you a question, Ralph, if somebody handed you $1 million, they told you it was $1 billion there, and they were short 14 million, would you complain?
Well, I think 14 million was the settlement figure, but
no. That was the actual amount that was missing. The 150 was hocus pocus with them trying to get pain and suffering. Can you imagine Mike Tyson suffering pain and suffering? Please, he's made other people pain and suffering. So with 14 million was the actual figure. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, I've never done business with either of the fellas mentioned, but I do know that there's a speculation of creative accounting on the side of the promoters at times, and we all know what creative accounting is. It's very creative, but like I said, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But you've done business with them, so boom, boom, boom. As we move on. Oh, Rick, every time you play the bongos there, I hear you. The hand movements. Okay. Yeah, that's. Yeah, don't do that. Tie your hands up. Okay. Okay, as we move on, get your questions in. T. White says Joyce is getting knocked out. There is a perception.
Well, wait! This guy just said Bobby Earl was a crook. I disagreed with him. Now I would agree with him.
Okay. There's a perception that Joyce has got slow hands. I do not agree for the simple reason that if somebody's got slow hands, how come he keeps on hitting people in the face? How come he keeps on smashing people in the face if he's got slow hands?
I'll tell you why. Okay, because the other guy is a C level fighter, not an A level fighter. If it was an A level fighter, they're not getting hit in the face so fast. So he's been fighting inferior competition. Number one. Number two is he looks faster than he is, and he is slow, is because he's in with Turtles, because he's a big lumbering guy himself. So they put him in with Turtles, And so he looks normal at speed, but he is slow. There's no question about that.
Are people aware that you'll be in training camp with Anthony Joshua? I've seen some sparring with Joyce and Joshua, and believe you me, Rick, we have a difference of opinion here, because when you see him it's tricky. It's a hard argument.
But Joshua's the kind of guy. I've been around this business for 4 decades. Joshua's the kind of guy. He goes through the motions when he spars. He doesn't go full bore. He takes it easy. He goes through the motions. He strokes his punches more than throws them. Yeah, it's a different guy. Trust me.
Okay. So you got the both opinions there. I'm in the minority. I'm the guy who thinks that Joyce is going to surprise a few people. Don't get me wrong. I hope Dubois wins for the future. Because he looks like a great prospect. I hope he don't get derailed. But I'm telling you, people, remember, you heard it here. Do not underestimate Joe Joyce. I'm in the minority. I don't think he's as slow as people think he is. But okay. Andre says, is Villa a live dog this weekend versus Navarrete?
100% live. I like Navarrete because he's had more experience. He's way heavier handed, but the other guy's a slick guy and fast. It's going to be a good fight.
It's going to be a good fight. Look out for Navarrete. James Jameson in the building. Let's go.
Hey, James, don't copy Ralph. That's his. Yes. That's unique to him now. Don't do that.
That's copyrighted, James.
Come up with your own shtick.
Okay. So where are we here? Andre says T. White must be a Hamanite. T. White, are you a Hamanite? T. White? Come on. The question's been asked. We need a response. Okay. Is there a comparable fight available at heavyweight in the US? Ruiz versus Hunter, perhaps. Is there a comparable fight? I don't understand.
He's talking about comparable to Dubois and where two guys are in the upswing. I don't know. I don't consider any Ruiz on the upswing. So
no.
I don't know.
No. I don't think that's a good comparison, Bronze Palmer, because Ruiz is established ex-world champion. Hunter, who would be comparable? I mean, you could say Brezel, but no, he's been around. So I don't. That's a good question.
Nobody.
UK rules the waves when it comes to the heavyweights. Rick Glazer, what do you say?
What was the question?
Well, I'm saying that UK rules the waves when it comes to the heavyweights.
Oh, currently, right now, it was Russia for a while, Russia and the Ukraine for a while, obviously. And before that, it was America. It goes in tides. You know what I mean? You had Frank Bruno along the way, and then Tim Witherspoon came along. You had Frank Bruno again. Mike Tyson came along.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a cycle. You know, it's like a cycle. It's just right now the UK is on top in the heavyweight division. No question about that.
No question about that. Big boys boxing in the house. That was the Bronze Plumber, by the way, beforehand. And now we've got big boys boxing. Rick, do you have any info on what happened?
There was a problem with the WBA wouldn't approve Chris Lovejoy for the title.
Chris Lovejoy.
Rafi, if he owed you money, you'd be a prohibitive favorite.
What does that mean?
And Ralph, if he expected you to buy dinner, you'd be even a bigger favorite.
OMG. Okay, so Rick Glazer sounds like he's on the witness stand. Okay, so let's get this. So Joyce is a big unit, but can he punch in bunches? I say he does. I'm in the minority. I say he does punch in bunches. I think sometimes. Be prepared to be surprised.
He's fighting C fighters.
Yeah.
You know, he's fighting C fighters.
Yes. What is this? Joyce going to KO Daniel Dubois. Uh-oh.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
No. Okay. So let's get over. Get your questions in, folks, because as I told you earlier on, we're in for a good one, but not necessarily a long one. Rafi is mad hectic over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio headquarters. Okay, so where are we? What we're looking at? Where's my first question? Okay, so the Nevada State Athletic Commission approves a request to stage Crawford versus Brook in Las Vegas.
I mean, whether they have fans is a second issue. So maybe they're going to have 250 fans. Arab's talking about like 250 or something. Maybe this is another show. And then maybe I got the shows confused, but maybe they're going to go to Reliance Stadium. Who knows? It'll draw. It'll draw. No question about it. No question about it.
Yes. Okay. So let's have another one. From my list.
Listen, Ralph, I'm going to tell you guys a funny story.
Go ahead.
Real quick. This happened years ago, and my friend reminded me of the other day. He called me up. He says, put another guy on the phone in front of his. I wasn't in front of him. I used to tell him that story. So I'm at lunch with four guys. This is years ago. I'm at lunch with four guys, and this guy's talking about the sex he had with this girl, okay, a couple nights before, okay, and he said, "Oh man, she was having orgasms for a whole hour."
Wow.
The other guy says, one of the guys said at the table says, "I've been in that bedroom before. That's a noisy."
Oh.
That's a noisy air conditioner.
OMG. OMG. Noisy air conditioner. Damn. Okay. So, we got Jay Rodriguez up in the building. What are your views on American YouTube channels pushing the narrative that Tyson Fury is a racist cheater? Do you think Fury? Do you think Fury dented Wilder's skull with a loaded metal object in the glove?
No, absolutely not. He dented his skull, but with no object but a glove out of his hands. There's nothing illegal. They don't understand the process, and all that stuff is all bullshit. They doctor those pictures, and please stop. It's so strict, it's unbelievable. It's so strict. People don't even realize. You'd have to corrupt 20 people. Come on, please.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, this would be Watergate. This would be bigger than Watergate, for Christ's sake. Come on, please. They're still making excuses of why I lost. He sucks. That's why I lost. He sucks. Jesus Christ. Rafi, how long did I tell you on this show? Okay, I mean, I was on the show after. How long did you hear me talk about it on social media and stuff? You were watching me before you ever had me on the show.
Yeah.
Wilder can't fight. He can't fight. He can punch, but when a guy's a good fighter, he can take those punches and he can outbox him. And he played with them. They got to stop making excuses up. The guy was a sitting duck. It was cherry picking gone wrong. The guy's a much better fighter. He's seasoned. Okay, he's slick. He's ring intelligent. Wilder has no ring intelligence whatsoever.
Uh-oh.
None.
Uh-oh. So.
Uh-oh.
So, since we're talking about Wilder, since Jay Rodriguez brought Wilder up, news has come out. I mean, we talked about it. We talked about it in June, when I heard it first from a high-ranking guy on a different type of channel overseas. The kind of guys who were in contact with Wilder. So I heard it from June. We spoke about it on this show in June. I think it was June the 10th, if I'm not mistaken, where I had heard from this high-ranking guy over there that Mark Breland had been fired by Deontay Wilder, by Team Wilder. Your thoughts on that, the firing of Mark Breland?
I don't look at it as him being fired. Okay, he was more or less jettisoned from the scene. He was around too long, 10 years or 12 years, whatever it's been, 12 years to be fired. He was jettisoned from the scene. His services were no longer wanted. That doesn't mean he was fired. Fired sounds like he did a horrible job. Right. He didn't do a horrible job. It's in anything bad was in Wilder's mind only. It didn't really exist.
And now there's a new narrative coming from overseas, coming from certain types of channels, saying that Mark Breland he didn't do a good job. But
in what way?
Well, he didn't teach him to box. He didn't teach. The new thing now is that Mark Breland failed to teach Wilder to box.
Okay. Can I run something by you, Ralph?
Of course.
Okay. Didn't teach him how to box. He never could box. He got better under Breland. And was Breland going to take the whole guy, throw him out, and come up with this new guy, I want him to box? It doesn't work like that. You can only bring a guy so far. The guy has no fucking talent. That's a problem. That's a problem. He's got no talent. I've never seen, and I'm not being racist, this is a compliment. I've never seen a black fighter with no rhythm and can't move his hands and feet together with fluid at the same time.
Damn.
That's a problem.
That's a problem. That's a big problem. That's big trouble. Big trouble. So now it looks like they're trying to ish on Mark Breland, but I was saying Mark Breland's defense. He was in an interview and he's quite candid and quite straightforward, and he said that his 12-year-old son boxes better than Wilder.
He's right. He's right. I mean, come on, please.
You know, what can you say? Mark Breland never hit it. I should look for that video and include it in one of my videos. Just that little soundbite when he says that his 12-year-old son boxing better than Wilder. And bear in mind that he'd been trying to teach Wilder for some years by this point. So I don't know how. Do you blame the teacher or do you blame the student? I don't know.
Well, the student has no ability, so I can't blame the teacher for the fighter had no ability.
Okay, so let's have a look. Let's have a look what we got in the chat. Make sure you get your questions in, folks, because we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. Okay, so what's this one here? So Tyson should hire Breland just for the wind up. The wind up in UK is just for ish and giggles. Just have him put, just have him put on a Team Fury jacket and have him walk out to the ring. That's what I think that he should do. Okay, I muted you there, Rick, for a second. Okay, so any thoughts on tonight's Showtime card involving Charles Cornwall versus Wendy Trousseau?
It's actually a good fight. I figure Conwell's going to win, but Trousseau is not a joke. He is a male, even though his name is Wendy. He's a Haitian. He lives on Long Island, and he's coming to fight. They're both undefeated. They're both good fighters, but I think Conwell's a little too strong. The punch is a little too good.
Okay. So let me look for one of mine before I get back into the chat. Okay, so Mayweather. Okay, so that just triggered a memory. It's just triggered a memory. So before I talk about what I was gonna say, why don't you say what you just said in your post on Twitter about Mayweather's promoting capabilities? But before we do that, let me ask you the question about this, and then we get to that, and now the two will lead into each other. And the question was, or rather the statement, is that Mayweather says, hopefully we can get 1 million, even 2 million buys for Davis versus Santa Cruz.
Won't do but 300,000, maybe 250 probably. That's a lot. That's a lot. I might even do 200. It's not going to do a lot. You're up against too much college football that night. It's not a pay-per-view fight. It's only a pay-per-view fight. Al Heyman's mind only, and the PBC or PBC Heymanites and LDBCers and all that, the Agenda crew. And I think he's absolutely out of his mind if he thinks he's going to do any of those kind of numbers. It's ridiculous. All hype. All hype.
All hype. Okay, so talk to me about Mayweather as a promoter from your observations.
Who's ever made a star? Case closed. These guys can't draw 20 people. Think about it. Or go down his roster. So that's the way it is.
You were mentioning he's got how many Twitter followers?
Yeah, 8 million, and he's never mentioned the pay-per-view fight on his Twitter once, or about either fighter fighting on the pay-per-view. I mean, it's a joke. Somebody says he mentioned it on Instagram. He put a thing. I said, okay, it's Instagram. What about Twitter? When you do a pay-per-view, you got to pull out all the stops. You got to go on the shows at the late night shows. You got to go on the radio. You got to go on podcasts. You got to do everything under the sun to promote your pay-per-view event as a promoter, like Don King did, the great Carney Barker. You got to do it. Okay, he's not doing that. He's not capable. Neither is Leonard Ellerby. He's not capable either.
Damn. So
it's a big difference between promoting yourself and having to promote two other people.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like Mayweather really is pulling out all the stops in order to achieve that end. Very, very unfortunate. What we got here? We got Cannon Boxing up in the building. Talking about Wilder. Do you think this third fight is a cash out? Finkel sounds like he's only interested in the bag.
Well, it would tend me to believe that that's the truth. That's a cash out fight. I can't see him beating him. Common sense tells you that, so they have to know that too. And Shelley Finkel doesn't. Shelley Finkel does live in reality. He's not dreaming, so he knows it's a cash. He knows the cash out fight has come. The game is over.
Damn.
He can't beat nobody.
Damn. So we never, with that hypothesis, we never get to see Wilder versus Joshua. Is that right, Rick?
No, that never happened. It'll be Joshua Wilder for at least 2 fights, maybe a third one. It depends if they split.
Joshua Fury.
Yeah, Joshua Fury. It'll be probably it may end up to be 3 fights, but it'll end up to be 2 for sure. And I just don't see Wilder being able to get through this fight. And not only whether he wins or loses, he's going to lose. I don't see him getting through unscathed either. I think he's going to get beaten up brutally because I think he's going to have depreciated motor skills after the beatdown he took on February 22nd. You just can't go on and survive those kind of things and not leave a lot of yourself in the ring that night. It's impossible.
Oh,
that would be a first. See, other fighters when they got knocked out happened quick. Duran got knocked out in 2 rounds by Hearns. He came back to win a world title at 60. That was a 54-pound fight. But those were quick one-punch knockouts. This
Yeah.
guy was tortured for 21 minutes.
Dang.
Tortured. Physically abused. He was abused so much, I thought he was a sadomasochist.
OMG. OMG. Okay. So, what was I going to say? I'm piggybacking on that. Yo, have you ever heard of a lucky punch?
Have I heard of lucky? But yeah, can Wilder get lucky? He could have the first fight. He didn't get lucky now because he's going to have depreciated motor skills, and he's not going to have the reflexes and the balance to land the lucky punch. You need a combination of a lot of things to land that lucky punch.
Hey Rick, mm-hmm. Lightning sometimes lightning strikes.
It could have struck in the first or second fight. It's too late. It's over. Depreciated skills.
Hey Rick, let me give you a let me give you a hypothesis. However unlikely. But let's do this. Okay. Wilder comes in, knocks Tyson Fury out with a lucky punch in the first round. Now it's 1 win apiece and 1 draw. Do they have a 4th fight?
No, it's not going to happen. So we don't need to worry about that. Fury's going to move on to Joshua. Yeah, he's not going to win. Listen, this is how I look at this fight. You ready? If my mother had balls, she'd be my father.
OMG. Okay, let us move on. But no, I gotta ask you. I gotta put it to you. What happens if Wilder wins the next fight? That's 1 win apiece and 1 draw.
Fury might retire.
Okay. There you have it. Right, what's going on here? Yeah, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And Breland led Wilder to water. It's not Breland's fault. You can't make a filet mignon out of a dog's backside.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I said. The guy couldn't box to start with. He wasn't an athlete. I don't care what sport he played. He had no coordination, arms all over the place, legs pointing in different directions. And oh my God, it's awful.
Okay, so I have a theory that Wilder simply does not take in what trainers are trying to teach him. Okay, and I almost forgot. You almost have forgot. So talking about trying to teach Wilder, I don't know if you've heard the word, but his new trainer or new co-trainer is none other than Malik Scott. What are your thoughts and observations, Rick Glazer?
I know Malik since he was a kid, since he was a young man coming out of the amateurs turning pro. I like Malik a lot as a person. I think he's going to be an excellent trainer. And he didn't have power, Malik, but he boxed well. He was tall, used a great stick to jab, and came back with nice body punches and stuff. And I think he'll learn a lot. I think Wilder will learn a lot from Malik Scott, but I don't think it'll transform too well because he's going to have the depreciated motor skills and the balance will be off and everything else because of getting the beat down on the February 22nd in the fight number 2. But so I don't think it's going to transform, but he may learn something, but I don't think it's going to be that effective because of the regression in the motor skills and the balance of Wilder. Right.
Okay. So, who we got here? An Olympic boxing commentator described Wilder as the worst boxer he had ever seen. OMG.
It's pretty close. I mean, it ain't far away.
That's why Wilder didn't make it in basketball. His coordination is not good. It ain't good.
No, the best line was years ago. they were interviewing Randall Tex Cobb, and he says Philadelphia. He was from Abilene, Texas, and he was living in Philly, training there, fighting out of Philly, and he was a bouncer at a bar when he first started. When he called, and they said to him, he says, what's Philadelphia like? He says Philadelphia's so rough. Even the winos throw a perfect left hook.
Yeah, well, yeah, the winos, they have to defend themselves. They got to defend themselves. Okay, so where are we? Should have took the DAZN 120 million offer. What else is here? Leroy Roots in the building. Okay. Who do you pick if Wilder had taken the 120 and fought AJ instead of Fury? Who would you pick, Rick Glazer?
Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he's got a suspect chin, he's much stronger physically, boxes so much better, and he's got a lot of ring awareness. And I think that not as much as Tyson Fury has in ring awareness, but I just think it's a different league.
Mm-hmm. 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 Who is the best coach for punchers? Says Emilio X. Abel Sanchez or someone else?
I don't know. I'm not sold. I'm not sold on that school of thought. I'm just not sold on that school of thought.
Okay. So where are we? Calic's jaw is fine. He suffered facial fractures and barely sparred before the Boatsi fight. What did you think of the Boatsi fight? Did you catch that one?
Of course. Well,
Okay.
because I knew you would ask me about it. If not, I wouldn't have watched. I might start charging you to watch at this rate. He's all right. He's not. He's what I call a world-class contender, but I don't think he's going to be. If he's champ, he's short. He's short-lived as a champ. If he's going to be a champ, he'll be short-lived. He's not that good. He's all right.
Yeah.
Look, way overrated. Way overrated.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I had people sound like he was a mountain with two arms.
Yeah.
I mean, he's all right. I mean, he's good, but I mean, he's just a guy. I mean, he's going to be a legitimate contender. But is he going to be a long-lived champ? Will he be at our memory bank 20 years from now? I don't think so.
Okay. So get your question in, folks. Get your questions in. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. Okay. So Filip Pegovic says Babik is not on my level. He needs a lot more wins to face me. But yet he was gonna face a guy who'd been retired for 6 years. So how does that make sense? Talking about Filip Pegovic.
He's a good fighter. That was a mistake. They're not doing that. Just stupid publicity.
Yeah. Okay, so the WBC president says that Canelo is the greatest attraction in world boxing. We need him back ASAP.
Well, when you're collecting 3% of his paycheck every time he gets in the ring, of course you're going to say that.
Yeah, of course. And where are we? Where is that story that I wanted to mention? Now that we've mentioned Canelo, who's the name of that guy he was going to be fighting? The name of the guy that Canelo was going to be fighting.
Yadim, the Turk.
Yadim, exactly. Yadim. The WBC have extended the negotiation period for that by 15 days.
Well, it's going to be hard pressed because they didn't go to get a TRO yet, and I don't see people putting up money for a fight that probably won't happen. So I don't know. It's not going to be. The general public is not asking for that fight. So hard to believe me would be happening.
Yeah. And let's talk about some of the fights on the weekend, Rick. We got to talk about Zepeda
and Baranchuk. I tell you what, there were so many knockdowns. I thought there was 10, 5 apiece. It was only 4 apiece. That's how many knockdowns there were. I mean, every time I'm looking at the thing, I go, "What the hell? Boom! What the hell? Boom!" It was unbelievable. One of a kind. It was a great fight. Okay, I mean, those fights happen once every few. The fights like that will happen once every few years. It's unbelievable. Once every 5, 6 years. It's crazy. What a fight! 2 warriors. The better fighter won, left-handed, a little better on his feet, slick. The right guy won.
Right guy won. Where are we? Let's get back into the chat, see if we have a question from the chat.
Where's our regular today? We're missing some people here.
We're missing some people, but we still got a lot of people. James Jameson says Dundee is a Scotsman. Says Dundee up there in Scotland is so rough the dogs walk about in pairs. Okay. Who do you see winning in the Fury versus Joshua fight? I got Fury on points, says Leroy Roots.
Me too. Yep. I agree.
Yeah, I got Joshua KOing Fury. Somewhere around the 9th round. 9-round KO.
Yeah. You're going out on the limb so many times that you'll end up with one right, I promise.
Okay, law of averages. Boatsy versus Yard. Who you got, Rick?
I don't know. I cannot have confidence in a fighter like Yardy, who tires out after 6 rounds. I don't know. I just don't have confidence in him. I just don't. I don't think he's that kind of guy. Put it this with you. I'd like to cash a winning ticket on him, but I wouldn't want to put up the money to do so.
Yeah, I hear you. Yard. Yeah, it's not. He went in. He skipped some levels. He skipped the European level. Skip some levels. So there's an X factor. Where are we? How do you guys see Murat Gassiev doing at heavyweight?
He'll do all right, but he ain't beating the real good fighters. He'll not beat the top guys.
Andre Serotokin blasts out Grant Dennis in 8 rounds in Minsk.
If he owed you money, you'd blast him out too.
Okay, so let's have a look. So I don't know about this story here. I don't know what the beef is. So let me have a looky. Bob Arum shreds Sky Sports. What they are doing in the UK is an absolute disgrace. So Bob Arum has launched an attack on Sky Sports for their decision to have 3 pay-per-view shows between now and the end of the year, accusing the network of a money grab and saying it was immoral to charge people extra to watch boxing when so many are suffering financially during the COVID pandemic. The veteran promoter used a media call with Vasily Lomachenko to promote his fight with Teofimo Lopez on October the 17th to lambast the UK network, contrasting the decision of ESPN not to have Lomachenko Lopez fight on pay-per-view, with Sky Sports singling out the October 31st fight between Alexander Usyk and Derek Chisora as not worthy of being pay-per-view. Rick Glazer, your opinion?
I think it shouldn't be on pay-per-view. I think Bob's right. Bob's not putting on Cal Brook and Crawford. He's not putting Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. He's not putting any of the fights on this year for the balance of the year on pay-per-view. And Bob's got a very valid point. I mean, it's you're presenting people with just all right. I mean, Frank Warren's not doing Dubois and Joyce on pay-per-view. So why is Sky TV now? I could understand Joshua and Pulev. I can understand Fury and Tyson Fury and Joshua. I can understand Wilder and Fury, but I can't understand these other fights. Those are heavyweights. Those are huge fights in the heavyweight division. Those other fights are they're good fights, but they're multi-million-dollar fights. They don't need to go on friggin' on pay-per-view. Ridiculous.
And now for the ironic twist. There's a channel called Fight TV, which will be showing Lomachenko.
Wait, hold on. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
And now Bob sold to them. They're going to sell for $9.95 in the UK. Okay, but it's not 59. It's not 69.95 and 79.95 and all these crazy cockamania figures. It's $9.95. It's not a lot of money. Okay, I get that. That's not really pay-per-view in my mind. That's more or less like almost like a streaming cost or something like that. That's not pay-per-view. $10. $79.95 is pay-per-view. I'll give you an example of why I feel that way, Ralph. If somebody robbed you out of $20, shorted you out of 20, you'd say it was a fucking mistake. No big deal. It's a mistake. I'm a big guy.
Yeah.
Tell me, rob you at $80 fucking dollars, you'd be chasing them down the street so fucking fast. You put bird marks at the bottom of your shoes.
Yes. Rick is correct on that one. Where are we?
I feel the same way, by the way. That's why I know.
Absolutely more. Okay, so manager, if Taylor misses weight against Ramirez, will cost him 7 figures. Why would Taylor miss weight against Ramirez?
I don't know. I think that's the way. I like Rick Magrin, the manager of Ramirez, good guy, but I think that's a lot of hocus pocus to make himself look like he's doing something for the fighter, and look what I put up here, warning them, this is what's going to cost. It's one of those deals.
Yeah.
A Playhouse 90, grandstanding, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Madness. Okay, so Roach wants more from Masayo. He wasn't letting his hands go enough.
Freddie's the wrong trainer for him. Just because the guy's a Filipino and he trained Pacquiao doesn't mean he should train every Filipino that ever came over to America. That's ridiculous. He's the wrong trainer. Freddie's the wrong trainer for him. You can see that. There's no ebb and flow to his game. None. He starts and stops too much. No ebb and flow. Does too many things that are wrong. He needs a new trainer. And I'm not saying Freddie's a bad trainer, but the chemistry isn't there with this guy. Freddie's a good trainer. I'm not saying that. But I am saying to you, it's not working with this guy. That's what I am saying.
Okay, so get your questions in, folks. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. Kind of hectic over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio HQ. Okay, so Emanuel Targo. I'm ready for Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Verdijo.
Who knows what he's doing? Ryan Garcia's fighting Luke Campbell, supposedly, but I think that fight dropped off the map, it sounds like. I don't know. I don't have any answers. Manuel Tago can't draw 5 people. Anybody that shows up watch him fight, and those that are on a first day basis will want a free ticket. So he doesn't mean shit. He doesn't bring any TV to the table. He brings nothing. He's a durable guy. He's strong, but he's not a great fighter. He's just a guy.
Okay, so Vasquez appeals loss to Brandon Figueroa. He claims illegal punches.
That ain't flying. You can just move on with that one. That'll get shot down in a heartbeat.
Dame. Okay, so Let's get into the chat. Okay. So, what do we have here? Who do you pick from the up-and-coming heavyweights to make the biggest mark in the heavyweight scene? Daniel Dubois, F.A. Ajagba, Joe Joyce, Alexander Usyk, or someone else?
Dubois. He's the youngest. He's the best of the bunch right now for an early pro. I mean, Usyk is more accomplished because he was a cruiserweight champ, but he's left-handed and he's older. But as far as a young kid, 22, 23 years old, Dubois easy. Not even a contest. Look at this, the bronze plumber. He must be Wilder's plumber. Hello? Oh boy.
Yep. David Price is also a plumber, you see. So I think that's a play on David Price, the bronze plumber. Yeah. But there is a correlation with Wilder, no doubt, in the bronze. Okay. So what do you think of Hemi Ohio versus Alan Babbitt on the Parker versus Farr undercard? Would it be a good fight?
Yeah, neither guy can box, so it'll be a good fight. And both guys can punch a little, so it'll be a good fight.
And Junior Farr, of course, and Joseph Parker, it appears, have come to agreement, and they'll be fighting, I think, sometime in December. Rick Glazer.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big fight for New Zealand, no question about it. I mean, it's two. One was former champ and one's an up and comer, undefeated. So it's going to be a good fight. It's great for the country. It'll be great for the country to put it on the map, because I'm sure Bob Arum will pick it up and show it on ESPN Plus. I'm sure it'll be shown in the UK, because Parker's got, I'm not saying a following over there, but at least he's known over there. So I think it's going to be a good draw. I think they'll do a lot of people with that fight.
Yes. Okay, so that was from Big Boys Boxing. We got one from Cannon Boxing. What is your favorite? Who's your favorite fighter? Who are your favorite fighters in this era of boxing? Rick Glazer.
Dubois, Tyson Fury. I like Jarrett Hurd, Terrence Crawford, Lomachenko.
Yeah.
Those are basically about it, really.
Yeah. If the rematch doesn't, Heinrich Smith's in the building. If the rematch doesn't happen between Fury and Wilder, then it's going to be near on impossible to get a top 10 heavyweight opponent for Fury with 8 weeks to go. Bring on another Bulgarian bin man.
Yeah, that Bulgarian is the #1 contender in the IBF, and he won an eliminator. So I don't care what anybody said. He warrants the position.
Yeah, we're talking about Pulev, the Bulgarian, of course. Yeah. Only heavyweight who I can see who's available is Andy Ruiz, which would be interesting.
That won't be happening, I promise.
No way, no how.
No way, no
how. Andy Ruiz, he opted not to fight Dillian White, but instead he opted to fight what's that guy's name? Who's he fighting? Ariola? Chris
yes.
Ariola.
Yeah, who shouldn't be fighting anymore?
Yeah, exactly. So that shows you the level of competition that Andy Ruiz is interested in. Where are we? Fury versus Sefer Safiri rematch in December. Said Fury versus Sefer Safiri rematch in December. I wouldn't put it past the fella, the long fella. Rick, any thoughts about? Okay, so I think James Jameson is asking you about if you would recommend the Black Ant.
No.
Rick said no, it's not powerful enough. Okay, so let's have a look here. I told you it's going to be a quick one, folks. Dubois is a good fighter, but I can't see any version of him beating Wilder or Fury. Beating Wilder? Dubois couldn't beat Wilder? Really?
Please.
Really?
Dubois destroys Wilder. Not even a guy. He runs him over. Way too strong.
Runs him over like he's in a tractor.
He's got no balance. How's he gonna hold a strong man off him with no balance? He gets pushed one time and look like a dog taking a piss on a fire hydrant.
OMG. Who you got? You got it, Raf Pricey got a bronze, and Fury used to love calling him a plumber. Yes. That's the explanation for the bronze plumber. Okay, the Outlaw says, Rick, what's up with Garcia versus Campbell?
We just talked about it. Who knows? I mean, it's lost all its steam and luster. No date yet, nothing. I don't know what the problem is.
I don't know what the holdup is. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so as we come close to the close, Rick, do you think Shakur Stevenson is ready for Frampton or Herring? Dang.
He was born ready.
I think he's very ready. I think he was very, very ready. Very ready.
He plays with both guys. Too fast, too slick, too smart, left-handed, ring brilliance. Too much fighter.
Yeah. Way too much. We're coming close to the end, folks. The end is nigh. So I've got your question in. No messing around. Let's go. Fury versus 1 and 2. I'd watch it. But with him being a southpaw, highly unlikely.
Yeah.
And still the world heavyweight Ferrero Rocher champion of the world. Ferrero Rocher, the champ, the chocolates. What's up with Tevin Farmer situation? Does Diaz not want the rematch?
Tevin Farmer, yeah, he doesn't want the rematch. That'll end up in federal court.
Who doesn't want the rematch?
Jojo Diaz.
Why? What's
wrong? Because he's got a weird style, Farmer, and he got lucky and beat him. He thinks the other guy will make some adjustments and he'll lose this time, and he doesn't want to do it. I have a lot of confidence that I'll end up in a lawsuit. A lot of confidence.
Okay. Yes, Frank the French in the building. You're off. What does Rick see next for Josh Taylor?
Jose Ramirez, more than likely.
Yes. Keep the questions coming in thick and fast. We haven't got long tonight. We don't have long tonight. Okay, so let me have a look at my own list while you get your last questions in. Okay, so Gervonta Davis, there's a story going around. Gervonta Davis is not ranked by the Ring magazine at 130.
What's that got to do with it?
What's that got to do with it? Yeah. He doesn't need to be ranked to be fighting for the 130 belt. So yeah. What's this talk about Pacquiao? What's this talk about Pacquiao being stripped in 2021? What's that all about?
Yeah, go straighten out. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's gonna straighten out. Don't worry. Fear not. Fret not. What's going on? Last few questions, folks. Does Vladimir Klitschko come back for a fight? He drops the odd hint every now and then.
No. His own brother won't let him.
His buddy won't let him. Is that what you said? His buddy won't let him?
His brother.
His brother. Vitali. Okay. So any thoughts on Jacobs versus Rosado?
Ugly.
Damn. Ugly for who? Or just ugly all around?
Ugly for Rosado. It's one-sided beatdown.
Uh-oh. Taylor has to be in that top 10 pay-per-view list for sure. With the opponents,
that's pound for pound list. It says
top 10 pound for pound. With the opponents, he's taken out.
100%. He is. Not even a question.
Yeah. Well,
Good
yeah.
fight.
Yeah, he's taken out Prograis. He took out what's his name before him. So yeah. Rick, what do you think about Boatsi's performance? What should he do to improve?
Maybe a new trainer. I mean, no rhythm, no flow, starts and stops. Where do you start and stop? I mean, with this, I mean, a grocery list. Get out a yellow legal pad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Does a lot of things wrong.
Okay.
Good fighter overall.
Yeah.
Got skills, got speed, but he doesn't put it all together. Got to put it all together.
Yeah. Yes. 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 Dubois will wreck Joyce inside 5 rounds. I've got sofas and chairs that move faster than Joyce, says Heinrich Schmitz. Boatsi doesn't beat Yard or Callum Johnson on that last performance. Nice guy, but he's better than that last fight.
Yeah, it's well said. He can't be Callum Johnson. Yardy, who knows, he's gonna run out of gas after 6 rounds. When you got no gas, you got no ass, and we got no ass, you got no gas.
Damn. Okay, we're getting some proverbs. We're getting some proverbs here from Rick. And I think my last question, or rather, is it a statement? Or I guess it's a topic. Okay, I don't know if you've heard the word, but Kovalev has pleaded guilty to some kind of battery of a lady. How many more times this Kovalev guy? Talk to me about this Kovalev guy.
Okay.
Say that again, Rick. You were muted. Say that again.
Let me tell you a story about Kovalev.
Yeah.
Okay. He was drunk with no shoes on, no shirt on in Fort Lauderdale about 3-4 years ago. He was living there before he moved to California. And he walked in the liquor store, and the guy wouldn't sell him any liquor. He started throwing $100 bills around. The guy says, "Take your $100 bills and head back towards your car." Okay, so he wouldn't do it. He called the cops on him. Okay, he's just an animal. He gets drunk and he's just an animal. He's unruly. He's dysfunctional. He's unruly. He just is what he is.
He is what he is. Yeah, that's the Kovalev guy. What's this here? Do you think heavyweights should be included in the pound for pound list? And if so, would you include any of the current crop?
No. Yeah, they should be included, but I don't consider any of the current crop pound for pound. Even though that Fury's the best one, maybe he's number 10, but he's not like in the top 4 or 5. No.
Okay, and kind of hectic over here. RDCR headquarters. So we made it a quick one tonight, but we still got the word out tonight. You still got your fix of the Rick Glazer. And it's always a pleasure to have you on, Rick, every Wednesday, 9 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. over there Eastern, and 1 Pacific. And all of Rick's details, social media details can be found down below. Rick Glazer, it's been another good one.
Thanks. Enjoyed it. Can't wait till next week. We got to have some, you got to be a little quicker so that everybody can get your questions answered. And definitely see you next week, Ralph. You're a hell of a host. I enjoy this show tremendously. And, it's great. It's great. It's a great show. And, we're always very frank, honest, and upfront on this show, including the occasional bad joke or a funny story.
Hey, it's all good over here, Rick. Much appreciated. Same place, same time next week. Rick Glazer.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so that was the Rick Glazer. Yeah, we got another one in the bag. Another one done. Okay, so what's this? Kovalev knows more about batteries than Elon Musk. OMG. Ask Rick if he thinks that UCAD is corrupt. Why would it be corrupt? Why would UCAD be corrupt? But having said that, it's an interesting question. Didn't see that before Rick left. But for sure, come back next week, same place, same time. Ask Rick. Boxing Talk with Rafi. Thanks, Rick. Nice one, Rick. Appreciated. Really good show. Thanks. Thanks to both of you. Okay, so, it's kind of busy around here at the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio headquarters. So you haven't seen as much produce out this week, out on the market store. But we're still bringing you the main shows, the Mondays, the Wednesdays, and most likely the Friday. So, look out for videos, although I don't know if I got time for videos during the week, but definitely the main shows will remain. Kind of busy around here. Okay, so what can I say? It's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, it's the Ask Rick Glazer, and it's the like, and it's the comment, and it's the subscribe. Okay, so thank you to everybody, and all being well, see you on Friday. It's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, and I'm out.